Welcome to Expedition Sea Nest. Join us in this episode as we have a hypnotizing experience with green turtles, dive on a famous mermaid sculpture, and do some more exploring in the Exumas. It was incredible.
Heading up to Rudder, and we think we found a place to hide out of the wind, and we need to do another tender dinghy repair. We've got another flat. We think we have a leak in it too, so we're going to have a look at that, and we're going to have to do some work there too as far as just settling, because the next few days is going to be rough, but we can't say we haven't had a good time. We had like 4 days of beautifully, almost calm conditions. We dove every day, almost all day long. It's been really nice. So we're okay to spend a couple days on the boat, and it's gonna be cloudy, which is my skin could really use a cloudy day.
After dropping our son off in Georgetown, we began to meander our way north towards home. Over the next few days, we anchored up and explored Little Darby Island, Ruddercut Cay, Musha Cay, and Cave Cay, all located in the Exuma chain of islands in the Bahamas. These anchorages had varying numbers of cruisers as well as marine wildlife. There are multiple grass flats that the sea turtles seem to be foraging on, and unlike many other locations we have visited, these turtles didn't seem to be bothered by our presence at all. It might be hard to see, but there's a dark blob under the water, which is a big sea turtle, and she's feeding on seagrass right beside the boat, and we were just snorkeling around the mooring here, and there's 5 or 6 of them feeding on the seagrass in this little bay, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Hey.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was so cool. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I've never seen sea turtles up close like that before.
Yeah.
And
they're all just happily feeding on the grass.
They were just munching on the grass, and I thought at the beginning when you went in, I didn't want to startle the one that we saw, and then once you'd swum around it for a little bit, I thought, I don't want to miss out. So I got my stuff on and I went in the water, and then there was 2 more sea turtles and then another one. So there was like 4 or 5 turtles. And once they knew that we weren't a threat, we were just kind of floating around with them, they just went back down, munching on the grass, go up. It was so relaxing, just like floating along with them. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That was unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, I really found that with trying to film this, it was really hard to get that personal perspective of the turtle unless you're laying right on the bottom and filming eye level with them. And so I had to get that shot, I had to release all the air out of my lungs and sink to the bottom, even with my weights on. I couldn't sink to the bottom. It's amazing the flotation you have when your lungs are full of air. So I had to release all the air, but when I released it, it would the turtle would look up at me going, "What's that sound?" You know, so I had to let it out really slow, and then I would slowly sink to the bottom, and then he was just eating, and I was just following him along as he ate the grass. It was so cool.
Yeah. That was a fantastic experience. I've never had anything like it. Up to now, the turtles have been a lot more skittish.
Yeah.
After the snorkeling, we set out to locate David Copperfield's famous mermaid sculpture. It is located near Musha Cay. The sculpture, called The Musician by Jason DeClares Taylor. The Musician is a standalone sculpture that includes a full-scale mermaid and Steinway concert grand piano replica. It's hidden underwater for snorkelers to discover near a private island owned by the illusionist David Copperfield. It's constructed using 316 stainless steel. The mermaid waiting to play is made from pH-neutral cement to encourage marine growth. This sculpture is so incredible, and of course, being tourists, we had to do what everybody does, which is go and sit beside it and play some piano. The sculpture is best visited on slack tide, as the current in this area is quite strong. We explored other potential anchorages with the dinghy and searched for the famous sandbars that are supposed to appear at low tide. I've heard that storms have rearranged and relocated the sand, but we couldn't find them. Perhaps the tides were not low enough, or maybe they're gone. Let us know in the comments if you've seen these sandbars at low tide. They look amazing in the photos that I've seen. While back at the boat, we were lucky enough to see that the turtles were still there. They stayed for 2 days.
That's so cool.
And we enjoyed every minute of it until they were gone.
It's like they do 2 breaths. It seems like they do 2 breaths. The ones that we were watching. Oh, there's another one on the other side of the boat.
The turtles that we were swimming with are green sea turtles. They're named for the layer of green fat that lies under their shell. Scientists believe that the fat is the result of their vegetarian diet. They eat primarily seaweed and seagrass. I found some amazing facts. These turtles nest primarily in Costa Rica and Australia. So what's fascinating is that they migrate long distances between their feeding grounds and their mating and nesting sites. I'm thinking that these turtles originally come all the way from Costa Rica. Adult green turtles breed by the beaches where they're born. Females usually travel thousands of miles from their feeding grounds back to their natal or hatching beach every 2 to 4 years, but the males, they make the journey annually. We thought the green turtles were amazing, but then look what else we saw.
I finished baking my bread. Oh, there's a nurse shark. There's a nurse shark right under the boat. Oh, he's gone. She's gone right under the boat. You can just see her tail. She's probably on the other side. Here she comes. Yeah. She's hanging around, and a triggerfish. I think it's time to go snorkeling. We had some amazing luck yesterday with a number of sea turtles here, and I don't know if that was an anomaly, or I'm so distracted. I'm like, I have ADD. There's a ray following the nurse shark. It's just going under the boat. Okay, so back to. I was hoping to get up and be able to see the sea turtles, but obviously there's a lot of other things going on, and I am going to gear up shortly and get my snorkel and mask ready and tour around the bay to see what we can see underwater.
Stingrays have a mutualistic relationship with bluehead wrasses, Spanish hogfish, and blue runners, like the one here. When the stingrays feed, they don't always consume everything they find. The little fish swim above them in hopes of picking up scraps or small snacks stirred up from the ocean floor. And then the most amazing thing happened. After all this moving around, both the nurse shark and the stingray just settled right down to the bottom of the ocean, and it looked like they were having a nap. It was crazy. These beautiful aquatic animals have suffered due to hunting, overharvesting of their eggs, loss of nesting beaches, and pollution. Fishing also poses a danger too, with thousands of sea turtles accidentally caught in nets and other equipment every year. Today, green sea turtles are classified as an endangered species. Since 2009, the Bahamian government has given full protection to all sea turtles found in Bahamian waters. Climate change is a biggie for all sea turtles. A warming climate results in higher sand temperatures and water temperatures. The higher sand temperatures can be lethal to the eggs or actually alter the ratio of male and female hatchlings produced. Believe it or not, the temperature of the sand actually determines the sex of the turtle. The warmer the sand, the more females are produced. The governments are trying to remedy the situation, but we as individuals can reduce ocean trash, keep our distance, protect sea turtle habitat, and also report marine life in distress. The 2 days that the turtles, the shark, and the ray visited our anchorage were some of the most magical of the entire trip. It was an extremely moving experience, and we were incredibly grateful. On all accounts, the new boat was handling extremely well, but as Michael mentioned at the beginning of the video, we were having ongoing problems with the dinghy. I did actually try to record the second patching when we were in the Rudder Cut Key area, but Michael was in such a foul mood that I decided it was best for our marriage to stop recording. In times like these, nobody wants a camera in their face.
Okay. Next job is to now fill the dinghy. That's becoming almost twice a day thing we have to do. We can't find the leak. It's somewhere, I think the leak and that tender is underneath, somewhere in the transom. I think the transom's been wearing on the material. We can't figure it out. So now it's come to the point where it's just filling it twice a day just to keep the thing floating. It's really frustrating. Actually, almost all our maintenance is on the inflatable. None's on the boat, really, other than, I did some polishing and that. This has been absolutely frustrating. If I had a choice, I'd buy and you see a lot of people switching to them. They're switching to the rigid boats. No inflatable on them at all. There's some really good stuff coming out now. Some of them are very expensive, but you never have to do this again. And they still can be used as a life raft. Oh well.
Wow, that seems to be even more than it was before.
No, this is the same. I do this every day. You just don't see it very often.
Oh, it seems like a lot more out just overnight.
Yeah. Maybe it's getting bigger in the hole. I don't know. Maybe I consider this my exercise.
Julia doesn't think I should show my toe, but I'm going to show you.
Don't show your toe. Nobody wants to see that.
How do you know?
Because it's disgusting.
It's cool.
We're trying to figure out how to cover this toe up that I've damaged when I was going for a walk in Nassau. It was raining out one day and I slipped, and the other foot
Wearing
came forward,
flip-flops.
wearing flip-flops on a rainy day, and the manhole covers are just flat square metal plates, and there's no grip to it. So when my foot hit that, my front foot slipped out and my back foot came forward, and I cut the bottom of my toe. Cut a big piece up. We're trying to figure out how to keep it covered and protected while I wear my swim fins.
Well, so that it's waterproof.
Yeah. See, it's just not healing. It's just as soon as I go back in the water, it just comes, the flap of skin comes open again.
It looks like a little bonnet.
Yeah. So that's the beginning of our diving, is getting ready here, doing this. And I think we left most of our dive gear is already in the dinghy, isn't it? I think so. Our fins and everything
from
are in there.
yesterday. Just over the hills here, you can see Safe Harbor, which is on Cave Cut Key. Right now it's not open to the public, but we were informed that they're doing some renovations. It's changed ownership, and they should be open for business hopefully within the next year or so.
So there you have it, the good and the grumpy. Living on a tiny boat, you get to share everything together. Giving each other the grace to be human is something that we learned very quickly. As always, thanks for watching. And if you'd like, consider subscribing to the channel, or give us a thumbs up, or leave us a comment. Any of those would be great.